In today's video, it's going to be real and vulnerable. So stay tuned. Okay? Hello guys. Welcome back to another video with me, Cynthia. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in on this wonderful day. If it's day for you or if it's night for you, wherever you are, thank you for tuning in. Today is April 25th. It is 10:36 a.m. where I am here in North Carolina. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers, whether you're new or whether you're old. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so very much. And I wasn't going to record today, but I felt compelled to after hearing a few testimonies. So I wanted to come on here and share one of my struggles and my testimony in a collective. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one thing, it's just been a collective. So if you are ready for this video, here goes. And by the way, I'm drinking chamomile tea. My throat's a little scratchy today. The weather is, doing what it do. It's hot one minute, cold one minute, and anywho. So if you're wondering what I'm drinking, that's what I'm drinking, chamomile vanilla tea. So I was rambling in my room and I came across a video of a young lady about how she had to move out of her apartment and she really had nowhere to go. I can't quite recall why she had to leave. I don't know whether it was due to money, and I'm thinking that's what it is. So she left, and this morning I was watching her. She had, she was in a motel room, She said she tried to find shelters, but they were booked. There weren't any. So I actually watched one young lady say that she went to apply for a place and they wanted her to have 3 times the income in order to get the place. Then there was another one she said she tried. They wanted you to have 4 times the income. She said, and it's so true, how can you guys want me to have this much or want a person to have that much if you're not even making that much yourself? Ridiculous, right? I had to book a hotel. It's not that she's not working. She says she's working, and she's got and she does DoorDash. She got 2 jobs, but she does DoorDash in the afternoon. She has 2 kids. And my heart, it just reminded me so much of being a single mom when I was a single mom, I was married to my daughter's father for 10 years. I've been divorced for about 15 or 16 years because she's 25 now. She'll be 26 this year. So I've been divorced for a minute, Sometimes you can still be married and it feels like you're in a single parent relationship. Granted, I won't take from him that he was who he was. When you don't know how to be a good father, sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes a person don't want to learn how to become a good father because it takes work. It takes a lot of energy. It takes almost everything out of you. But that's what being parents are. We as women, we do it every day. We do it all day. Now, I'm not talking about all men. That's not what I said. And I was referencing my ex-husband. And being a single parent isn't easy. As she was telling her story about how she had to find somewhere to go, and she's in a motel room. They're not cheap. Yeah, you can find some cheap ones, and you won't be out in the cold. You won't be out on the street. But I would rather be in my car if I had to choose. I'm the type of person, let's say was, because God had to work through me and on me, and he's still working. I thought that I could do it all by myself. I thought I could handle whatever came my way at a very young age. I thought I could work and get by. I thought I could work and just pay my bills and everything would be fine. That's what I thought. But as life progressed, and being a single parent again, it's not easy. As time progressed, it broke me down. It wore me down as any other single parent. It didn't always feel good, but I'm a resilient person, and I always tried to stay on top of things, and when I couldn't, it almost knocked the breath out of me. You know what I'm saying? It's stifling. It doesn't make you feel good. It makes you feel like you're not necessarily a failure, but it's like you're not doing everything you could or everything you can. Now, I already knew what I knew. I know that I'm a great parent. I was a great parent. Nobody can take that from me. You know what I'm saying? I told you, I'm big on the truth will set you free about your truth. That is my truth. I was a great parent. But sometimes you feel like you can never do enough, right? Especially when you have no help. And then you got to run somebody down for child support. You got to literally, and I'm not a beggar. I'm not a beggar. I ain't begging nobody for nothing because you helped me create this. Yeah, that. And then when you're married to someone, you wouldn't think that you have to run them down or put them in the system to pay child support because this is who you were married to. So now that we're not together and I won't let you have access to me or connection to me like you want me to, I got to run you down. So because I don't move like you want me to or adhere to your advances, I got to run you down. I got to take you to the system. That ain't always good either. Because if they got to keep switching jobs so they won't, have child support taken out, that can be hectic too. So this video might be a little lengthy because I'm ranting. I'm sharing my feelings. I'm sharing what I went through. So if you're a single parent, if you had to raise kids by yourself, you can understand where I'm coming from. So I felt so obliged to record today. Listen at this young lady's struggles. And she's young. My kids are grown now. But that feeling will always be on the inside of me. Sorry. It was not easy. It wasn't easy. And this is why I try to share with people, you do not have to believe in what I believe in, but you need to find somebody, you need to find something that you believe in. Who I believe in is God. Because now that I look back on my life, he took me through things because he wanted me to know that it's okay to ask for help. I didn't want to be let down. I didn't want to be told no. I didn't want to make it seem like I was weak or I couldn't accomplish what I achieved. You know what I'm saying? My bills were mine. Every bill I had was mine. And sometimes it was hard living paycheck to paycheck and then no help in between. When you got family, family, they got their own families. They got their own children, you know what I'm saying? So, it gets to be difficult. You can't get blood out of a turnip, So, God entered my life and he showed me, and he kept showing me. Not only did he keep showing me, he kept showing up for me. No matter what trials and tribulations I went through. Some of the stuff we take our own self through. Now let me be clear on that. Because when I look back over my life, I can see so many things that I did unconsciously not knowing that they would hinder me on the road ahead. I couldn't work 2 jobs. I had kids. I had to make sure that they were in school. I had to make sure their homework was done. I had to make sure they were out of school properly. If I was at work, I didn't trust people with my kids. The only people that could be around my kids when I'm at work is my mom and my sister. I ain't play those kind of games, and I'm so grateful to God. I'm so grateful to him that I could do that. No, my mom wasn't the best mother in the world, but she's my mother. And so that's what I had. Daycare expenses are so unbelievable. They are unbelievable. But these people got to make their money too, because it's hard to take care of a child. You know that, right? It's hard taking care of a child, let alone having multiple kids in daycare that you got to take care of. So they make their money. But let me say this too: some of them are just flat out ridiculous. It seems like it no longer becomes it's not about the kid or the child care, the daycare you're running. It's all about the money, and I get it. A lot of places are about money, and they have no care for the kids. That is life. That's the government, ain't it? Back to the story. I remember getting home one night. Me and my daughter, I picked her up from work, and she was about 11 or 12. I picked her up from work. When I got off work, we went home. Now, mind you, I had just got this place, right? And when I went in the house, the lights were off. Talking about felt like a failure. I did. I was embarrassed. How could you explain that to a child, that your lights are off? And who are you going to call to help you to get them back on? All I could do was go in the house that night. We still had water. We still could get in the house. I still had a roof over my head, We still had a bed to lay in. We had everything else we needed, but we didn't, the electricity wasn't on. Okay. The next day roll around. Yeah, they came. I got them back on. I can't even remember how, but I got them back on. But that was that was not a good feeling. It makes you wonder, what am I doing wrong, or what else can I do? When the money ain't moneying, and you can't get an extension, you can't keep getting extensions because you can only get so many extensions, right? That was hard for me. Who am I that I couldn't go through hardships? Who am I that my lights couldn't be turned off? Who am I that I can't get evicted or couldn't get evicted? Who am I to not have a struggle? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? What I mean is, those things happen to me too. Did I want them to? Absolutely not. Who wants to be evicted? Who wants to be put out of their house, not having a place to go? Who wants to go home to their family when already there is a tension there? Maybe it's a place you just don't want to be, because that's how it was for me. I love my family, but us living together was not my thing. I had no one to call on. I had no one to really help me in certain situations, you know, because like I said, I didn't want to be told no. And a lot of times when somebody do something for you, especially a man, most men, they're looking for something in return. And I'm not that kind of chick. No way, no how. My heart just breaks for the single women out here that are really trying and have children by men that are not helping them and does not care to help them. Is not thinking about the child. It's not thinking about the time that you were actually laying in bed making this child with the female. They don't care. Another saying that I used to hear, but I couldn't get it back then because I was young. You know, I was really young. And then growing up, as time progressed, I understood it. Hit clear as day. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. That baby gonna always be a mother's baby. We're gonna always be responsible for that child, no matter where the daddy at in this world. He could be living his best life. We still gonna be that mother. If you're a good mother, you still gonna be that mother. If you're trying your best, you're gonna be that mother. If you're doing the best you can, you're gonna be that mother. Right? We don't plan to have kids with somebody we thought that wasn't gonna be there with us regardless if we were together or not. I know a lot of times we can be lackadaisical, not knowing or not watching who we're having kids with, right? Because we're looking at the love aspect. Oh, I love him, he loves me, so let's have sex. No child should be brought into this world and have to live a life of poverty or struggle. When a father doesn't help a mother, even despite their differences, guess who it affects? It affects that child. That child has to watch their mother struggle. Because I'm fair. I'm a fair female. I'm a fair woman. I'm an upright woman. Don't get it twisted. Because there are single fathers too. So so it's not always about the mother. There are fathers too that are single. So just know, you're in this too. So let me say single fathers and single mothers. There are mothers running around out there that has, left a child abandoned, had the child and went on about their life. That happens too. Females do it too. Is that not something? But life happens. Life absolutely happens to all of us. Have I ever been evicted? Did I want to be? Who wants to? When the money is not enough and you've done all you can do, what can you do? What can you do? All my parenting years, and I'm still a parent, you'll never get from under your children, you know what I'm saying? They'll always be your children, but my kids are grown. I never got Section 8. I had one income-based apartment. Section 8, they told me listen now, you're listening, turn on your listening ears, right? Turn your volume up. They said I made too much money. can I have made too much money? What do you mean? That was another time in my life where I said, forget about it. I just do what I can do. And that's all I can do. And that's what I did. I had so much anxiety built up on the inside of me for fear of something being cut off, something being taken. Yeah. That fear rode along with me for years. And is it hard to shake off? Absolutely. I don't want you to think that I come here and I'm a perfect being, because one time I thought I could be. Yeah, I said it. Because I didn't know that I couldn't be. I was trying to dot all my I's and cross all my T's. I tried it. Didn't work. God broke me down. I know that now. I know that he broke me down. He had to let me see that I didn't live in this world alone. And even if you got told no, closed mouths don't get fed. There could have been times where I asked somebody and God had already went before me and set it up for me, that when I asked the person or the people, that it was already done. But because my ego was so large, I didn't do that. Because I didn't want to be told no, or I didn't want to be told that they didn't have it. And sometimes people don't have it. You know, we sometimes we don't. So God took me through all of that. I didn't want anybody to know, because it's embarrassing when you get evicted or when you get put out of your home. It's embarrassing for anybody. It's embarrassing. Because people look at you different. You know what I'm saying? They start to feel different about you. And some people like to see you, they like to see you down. Some people thrive on your downfall. Yeah, they thrive on your downfall. Hold on a second. Let me go heat my tea up. I remember meeting this credit repair man. I met him through my niece. My niece referred him to me. And I was so excited about getting my credit repaired. I didn't have bad credit, but I didn't have the credit. I didn't have enough credit. What I mean is, I didn't want to have extra bills, because it was already a struggle to pay the bills that I had. So I didn't want a furniture bill. I didn't want anything that I could buy in my house outright. That's what I did, so I could focus on the bigger bills. So upon meeting this credit repair man, I was excited. When I say excited, because I was well on my way. In my head, I was well on my way, right? I'm making plans. I'm making goals and things that I felt like was going to better my life and the life of my kids, even if they were grown or not. And upon him meeting me and him doing my paperwork, getting everything on the road, getting everything taken care of, that first day that I met him, I'm maybe 3 minutes away from my house, the house where I just moved from. And I got a phone call from him. So when somebody's females, when somebody's talking to you sideways. He basically told me, and over a few phone calls, that if I took care of him, he would take care of me. All right? That sounded so good. That sounded so good. He wanted me to meet him at a hotel in our hometown. I was seriously considering doing it because I wouldn't have had to pay anything for him to repair my credit. I wouldn't have to have done anything. All I had to do was wait for the transactions to take place and for me to move forward with what I had planned to do. Yeah, this is how I was going to buy my home. This is how I was going to do. That was my main goal. That was my main focus. So, of course, it sounded good when he said, you take care of me, I'll take care of you. As the days progressed and the time progressed, I started to feel so bad. A few nights I cried. And during that time, God spoke to me. You have never had to sleep with anyone to get anything, no matter what you went through. I was there for you, and I'm still here for you. I never had to beg for food because God was always there for me. He was always with me. I always had a place to stay, even if I had to go back home to my mom for a little while. God never left my side. I want to say to you ladies that when someone approaches you that way, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I couldn't believe I was even considering, but it sounded so good. Not the part about me taking care of him, but him fixing my credit. Those are the times when you learn to appreciate what you go through, so you can look back on the times where you almost done something that you had no business doing. These are the moments you look back and realize that there are snakes in the world who would even come at a female that way. Yeah, I know I look way younger than I am. And in my eyes, he thought he could take advantage of me. Then I'm wondering, my niece referred me to you. How far did you take it with her? It was that moment when I began to trust God more and more every day. Even on my worst days, it was rough. I trusted God. God is in the business of showing you who he is. He shouldn't have to chase you down or chase us down to show us who he is. Like I said, you don't have to believe in what I believe in, but you have to believe in something. Because when those times get rough, you're going to need someone to call on. You're going to need a savior because you cannot do it alone. For many people, they think they're walking around this world by themselves. Little do they know, if it wasn't for grace and mercy, they wouldn't even be here. But they walk around like they do what they do on their own. And it's the furthest from the truth. Because, sweetheart, I want to say that I am a living testimony. Now, this is just my single parenthood. Not talking about my childhood. And I still don't look like what I've been through. Thank you, Jesus. This is just that portion of my adulthood when I was a single parent. I am a living testimony. The key word, living. Because if it had not been for God on my side, I would be 6 feet under. Or how many inches they dug it, how many feet they dug it, I would be under. There were days, and I know you know, parents, there are days when you don't know whether you coming or going. Me, I'm big on making sure my kids got their homework done and, things like that. I always made sure their homework was done. They went to school, fresh, clean clothes. Thank you, God. I remember one day my niece called me. This was when I was married. She called to my job and she said, because she knows how I am, she said, Jimmy over there sitting on the computer, playing checkers. And I don't think the kids got their homework done. Jimmy was my ex-husband. That alone was a struggle. To have someone that you can depend on to make sure things are getting done in the relationship, in the marriage, Again, don't get it twisted, females. Being married, if you're not married to the one that God sent to you, you can still be a single parent. You can still be alone. Because it's exactly how I felt. And I'm married. Again, if you don't have anything that you believe in, do your research. Go to somebody you trust and let them help you along the way. God has truly brought me a long way. Do I have not so good days? Absolutely, I do. But I know better now. I know better now. That as long as I have God on my side, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. This is why I come here to my platform. And even sometimes when I try, I'll say it, not that I intend to intentionally, sometimes I can come on here and want to do a video and I'll make it about cooking. I can't help to speak about my God, my Father. I can't help but to speak about him because it's going to happen. I'm going to speak about him. I'm going to talk about him. Yep, that's my bestie. That's my best friend. I can tell him anything. When I say anything, anything. From my bedroom to the kitchen, the living room, the bathroom, outside, I come to him. I don't have to worry about him telling my business to nobody. Not only that, he is the only one that can help me with anything I go through. My God, my God. Yeah. Single ladies, single parents. Let me say single ladies. Before you decide, and sometimes it's not playing, but just know that if you're not on birth control, you might as well go ahead and make plans to have a baby. Because in the heat of the moment, who's say what's going to happen? And don't let nobody give you that lame game about the pull-out game. That's for the birds. Don't do that. Don't trust nobody with yourself like that. Because again, this baby is going to be yours. This child is going to be yours. Birth control, condoms. Do both before you consider having a child with someone. Don't bring a child into this world and allow that child to suffer because of one or the other, whether it's the man or whether it's the woman. Single moms, keep doing the best you can with what you have. And know that if you know that you're doing the best that you can, you're doing it. You're the best mom. And what you do for those kids, they'll never forget it. They'll never forget it. You got this. You can do it. I got through it. Only by the grace of God, and I know that today. Single mothers, you don't have to sleep with anybody to get what you need for your kids. You don't have to be taken advantage of for you to get to where you need to be in life. You don't have to sleep with anyone to get anywhere far. I have been real vulnerable in this video. I have. But I just want all the single ladies, all the single mothers, all the single fathers to know that you're not in it alone. I'm going to say this last thing before I end this video. I met this lady at one of the facilities that I worked at. She said that this lady was an older lady. She was like in her 70s. She said her mama had to put her daddy on child support. I didn't know it was a such thing called child support back then. You know? She said because her daddy wouldn't help her mama take care of her, and they were married, living together in the house. But that was the only way she could get the money to help take care of the child. Be careful, ladies. Don't do what you're not prepared for. Don't do what you're not prepared for.